Session, the main desired outcome is to help us stabilize ourselves in space-time, to become less bandied about by the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, to feel steady, to experience smooth emotion and focused thought processes, and also perhaps improve our physical posture in the meantime. So we got thought, emotion, physical posture, and we just want to stabilize ourselves in space-time is the main outcome of this. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Sound okay? Cool. By way of introduction, I can trace the genesis of this project to when I was about 8 years old. I remember we just moved, and I was sitting in a new empty house and having this very visceral experience of the existence of parallel dimensions, where I had this idea of there's another realm of existence. Somehow I didn't have the language for it at this point, but there's another dimension where there's another me having the exact same experience except a little bit different. And I wonder if that me is thinking about me, thinking about that me, and I'd just seen, I know that it came from The Flight of the Navigator. Has anybody ever seen this movie? It's about a kid who encounters a benevolent extraterrestrial spaceship and has an adventure, and it's the time warps and this whole thing, and I think that was playing in my 8-year-old mind. And so yeah, this very visceral sense that there's some carbon copy that's having the same experience but just a little bit different. And so then I started asking my poor, sweet parents lots of impossible questions about this, and what does it mean, and who are we, and where do we come from, and what's the purpose of life, and why are we here, where are we going? All these really basic life questions, right? And my parents, bless their heart, gave really solid answers that, there are these different religions, and they will tell you one thing, and this other one tells you this thing, and they all have their different ideas, but ultimately no one knows, and no one can know, and we're all just making it up as we go, doing the best we can, which is a pretty fair answer. Honestly, pretty good for the time. And so I accepted that answer, but believe it or not, was less than satisfied with it. And so, life goes on, and at around age 16, I still had these questions, and there was this newfangled thing called the internet. And I went to Buddhism.com and downloaded a guided meditation and started getting into these sorts of things. Fast forward, my junior year, I retired from college soccer due to injuries, both physical and moral. And in recovering from that, took a semester-long Bikram class, and that sort of led me into the yoga world. And upon graduation, I ended up at a place called the Yoga Farm in Grass Valley, California, in the Shivananda yoga tradition. And it was there that I got introduced to Bhakti yoga and gardening and how to change a tire, and also Vedic astrology and Ayurveda. So and the rest is history, really. So the other relevant experience that gets me to this particular work is, throughout my life, a sense of confusion at times about whose thoughts I'm thinking, or whose emotions I'm feeling. Are these my emotions? Are these the angry person who just walked in the room? Is it their emotions? Who's this random thought just popped in my head? That doesn't seem like something that David, as I know myself, would think. And what's happening with that? And I remember, again, as a very young kid, coming up with this phrase, the cosmic sadness, or just get sad just because the world is a sad place, right? And but I wasn't sad. I was going to soccer practice in an hour. What could be? My life is great. But and so this confusion and ending up in sometimes making decisions that weren't mine, and feeling sort of bandied about, life pushing me this way, pushing me that way, without my own sense of stability, and making decisions based on, with my mom's voice in my head helping me make a decision, or making it for me more often. And not that there's my mom is a lovely, beautiful person, but she's not me. And so one of the outcomes of this work is the ability, hopefully, and in my experience it is, the ability to clear that out and find your own center of gravity. That's really the key goal of this, is to discover your own center of gravity and then act from there. and then you can move more autonomously. So